Hello, I am David Sand, CEO of Uwin Iwin International. Today we're going to be talking about all things technology. Uwin Iwin has really beaten a path down the technology route. Ever since we founded the business, I knew that technology was going to give us the edge in a very rapidly changing digital world. Today with me on the program is my dear friend, special guest and colleague, Stuart Higgs. Stuart, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Stuart and I met some 20 years ago when, we won't tell you how old Stuart was or whether he was legal to work, but he was a young genius. I still believe that he's a tech genius. And Stuart, tell us a little bit about our journey together.
Yeah, thank you. So it started a long time ago. My parents gave a 10-year-old me or an 8-year-old me a little computer. It was a Olivetti M10 forerunner to the current laptops. And they said, here it is, Stuart, and if you want to do anything with it, you're going to have to write your own programs for it.
So it was the game, kind of getting into the games and writing your own code for that got you motivated.
Absolutely, and that was 30-odd years ago. And I've been telling computers what to do ever since. And that was a good building block and start, because it took away the fact that computers are something that do what you don't want them to do, and allowed me to build systems. And when it came time to start building the first point system in the world that we knew about, it allowed us to say, okay, we can make this thing work. And that was 20-odd years ago, and we've grown and we've added, and we're on new versions, but it still keeps working, and we still keep having fun with it.
Yeah, we certainly have. And I remember that first system that we wrote, and we had this vision, crazy vision, of digitizing something back then which was done very manually. We then said, well, couldn't the technology develop something new? We were in the heat of the dot-com era in those days, and it was majorly exciting. Looking back is one thing, but looking forward, tell us, how important is the role of technology in the incentive and loyalty industry as it sits today?
So it's interesting that you raise the how we used to do it versus the how we do it now. And I use the analogy of a car very often because it's something people can understand. And I've got a car with lots of technology, and the thing basically drives itself. And it's wonderful. And you get other people, enthusiasts, and they have a car that they tinker with the thing every day, and they spend a huge amount of effort doing something that's completely effortless for me. So when it comes to technology in our business, what it allows us to do is just work faster and smarter. We build on the knowledge and the success of other clients, of other participants, of other people in different industries, and we can stand on the shoulders of giants. If you want to do it yourself, people are more than welcome to, and they still carry on with it. And there may even be a niche for it. But for us, it allows us to work so much smarter, so much faster, and so much more effectively.
Yeah, it certainly does. What we can achieve now on a small-scale program to a national program to a Pan-African program, and now globally reach participants and manage things for companies worldwide. So tell me, how does the technology enhance the motivational or loyalty effect experience for staff or resellers or customers? How do you think that really engages people?
We have so many pieces of information about people. We know what they like, we know what they don't like, we know how they transact. We're able to talk to them where they are, when they are. And from that point of view, we can create a holistic experience that is completely immersive. What it means is that the person doesn't have to exert any effort to be able to do what they need to do and get their reward.
One of the things that I'm always keen to ensure is that we're constantly getting feedback from our participants and our loyalty participants to see how they want to interact.
Yeah, and electronically we can ask them and get that feedback instantly and make modifications based on it.
So a few years ago, I said to you, Stuart, we're heading into Africa, and we planted a business in Kenya, and that was the start of a journey that took us all the way up to Egypt and on the west coast into Ghana and Nigeria. And serving that Pan-African customer, tell us about some of the challenges and standout opportunities that you think we got.
So Africa is a fantastic place, and Africa has been, in some regards, left behind the rest of the world. For example, there's no telecommunications infrastructure to speak of. But the other side is they've leapfrogged the rest of the world. So everybody in Africa has a mobile phone. You don't have a landline, but you've got a mobile phone. And what that means is that we can transact with people where they are, when they are, as opposed to the old way of doing it, or potentially even the Western way of doing it, of somebody logging onto a computer and taking a picture of something and scanning it in. So the opportunity that's come out of that is, if you take the M-Pesa, for example, you capture the fact that somebody has a mobile phone and you build a business model around that. Instead of saying, we're going to use a mobile phone to enhance what we're doing, we're going to use a mobile phone and the ability to talk to people wherever they are as what we're doing. And with incentives and reward programs, they can transact where they are, take a picture of whatever they need to do, send it through. We can push notifications through to them immediately. And the whole model is faster and easier, and it wouldn't necessarily be that way otherwise.
The importance of mobility and AI, I know you talked about the mobile phone and that kind of thing. Just expand on that a little bit for us.
So now, and you take the whole world now, everybody's got one of these devices. They're incredibly clever devices. Some of them have got 8 cameras on them. They've got GPS on them. We can take and interact with somebody wherever they are, however they are, whatever they want to do. And all of that data that comes through is too much for a person to be able to analyze and look at trends. So AI allows us to draw pictures and see pictures in the data that aren't readily visible to the human eye.
One of the examples that I've in top of my mind was that app that you guys built for sales guys in motor dealerships, where they could just scan the barcode on the old license through the device, through our program, and pick up a whole data set of the incoming customer, as well as then being able to transport that data into their CRM system. And kind of making that channel sales process just so much smarter and intelligent. Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of technology, is that it gives us new solutions. It's in itself, it is a tool, but in the future thinking of how we adapt to our new world, how do we make it easier? How do we create solutions to old problems and overcome them?
But the key is to remember it's a tool. It's not an end in itself, it's an enabler.
So, obviously one of the big things in the tech world is the protection of personal data. Talk to me a little bit about that and the safeguards that we provide for our clients.
The approach that we take, and the approach that I suggest most people take, is don't take more information than you need. We can anonymize information, and we can use telemetry and tracking to build a picture of what happens, but it doesn't need to tie into this person and that person and the other person. With the information that you do need, you use it responsibly in the territory that it was loaded in, and then you destroy it afterwards. And that's how all of our systems work.
Well, I think that's a responsible way of moving us forward in that space. Thankfully, in the 20 years that we've been in business, we haven't taken a hit. And I know that that's because of the layers of and attention that you pay to that part of our business. Finally, as a final question, Stuart, where's it all heading? What's the next big thing for us?
Next big thing. So everybody has their own preferred way of talking to other people, talking to systems. Some people like WhatsApp, some people like SMSs, some people like websites, some people like chats, some people don't like. And where we're going is we're building all of that into one. And all of that into a single channel and out again allows us to be far more effective with how we communicate with people.
Thank you, Stuart. Really loved listening to you as always. And the next version of our journey, I know you're already deep into programming and designing and architecture of that system. That's into the world of eco-loyalty Let's create a new buzzword. And thank you so much for spending time listening to the show. We really appreciate your input. Please follow us, leave your comments, or go to our website, uwiniwin.net.